Yeah, I was like more or less filling in as a sub at this particular school for a semester. And I really got along with the kids in the school and the faculty and everyone it was meant to be, except for the principal. It's so weird because like the public schools are like an exact reproduction of like the authoritarian structures of like a factory workplace or any other place where principals are the main decision makers and teachers are the workers who have no real decision making involved in it. So I was fucked on that account.
So in Chiapas, we painted water tanks with the Zapatistas. This is a shadow painting of one of the women that we painted. She's picking corn. It's a big representation of Zapatistas. She's carrying a baby sack.
I think the Zapatistas, in regards to like this project, really are symbolic of just being able to make anything possible. Where this project for us is something like doing a world tour, playing on street corners while doing it. That they made their own lives possible by reclaiming land within the past like decade, totally just taking back the land that was being invaded by mainly from corporations up in this territory that wanted to extract resources from the land, and they totally have armed themselves and said, no, you're not going to take our land like you've done to our people for 500 years. And they've just made so many things possible. And just looking at that land and looking at these people living completely autonomous from any government help or hindrance was, I don't know, just influential in the idea that like anything's possible.
I thought, you know, maybe activism is, you know, a first world creation, but it changed when I went down there, and, you know, a 7-year-old child had as much passion as anyone I've ever met with whatever education they had. Like, to them, protecting themselves and like the dignity through revolution was completely natural. It made me believe that rebellion was, and revolution was still part of our instinct.
We took on this thing called Plan Puebla Panama, which is this big extension of NAFTA where lots of the corporations are going down and fucking up the southern parts of Mexico and into all the countries down into Panama with lots of infrastructure for highways and transportation of goods so they can put together all of our toast ovens and stuff. We can buy them cheap up here.
It's important that we actually went out and visited like communities that are actively in resistance, and in Mexico there's a lot of them. And for us to exchange our ideas and our perspective of, you know, what it's like for us in resistance here in the United States, and to understand like their lives and their perspective and what it's like for them was a very important exchange of ideas, I guess. And we can come down and, you know, play music and share the word of, you know, other struggles that we're involved in our communities, and at the same time learn like super valuable experiences from their organizing skills and their victories, because these are like, you know, small villages that have been able to take on huge state and federal governments and win like amazing victories. So there's a lot that we can learn from that.
I was not with them in their last trip to Mexico this past winter. I stayed up here in Pittsburgh, finishing my last year of school and hanging out with one of all of our best friends, Courtney, who just gave birth at the end of June. So that was a big part of me staying up here, supporting her through her pregnancy. And so yeah, it was difficult sometimes living up here throughout a really harsh winter in Pittsburgh, while hearing news of all the amazing stuff they were doing in Mexico. But it was, in another way, it was really good because I feel like, and I think we all feel like, it was another extension of the project, just in a different way. Community support for someone who was in need of it at the time was a really good thing. And it sort of represents the fluidity of the group.
Initially, the plan was to go around the world, and that was like the kind of like motivation for this whole group kind of come together. It was like we were going to do world tour, and we've already gotten 3 countries, and now it looks like we're at the point where 2 people in the band are thinking about getting land and how.
I graduated college.
I'm pretty done with the United States. I'm going to make a home for myself somewhere in Europe, but just basically go as far as I can.
I'm doing this now because this is more what I wanted to do. It was more the type of thing I wanted to do the whole time.
It's kind of like naming it the Vagabond Collective was kind of, our sense of humor, because the vagabond is supposed to be reckless, ruthless.
Trying to live outside of the structural creation that I was involved in for a long time. It's more fulfilling.
This is terrorism.
My accordion.